3 minutes to speak. For my LSC members, if you guys are logged on, please have your cameras on so that everyone can go ahead and see us. And then let's just go ahead and try to stick to the topic. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask, but let's try to stick to the topic.
3 minutes to speak. For my LSC members.
What the hell?
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and I'll go do roll call establishment. Toma de asiento. I would start with Mr. Calderon. He's not here. Ms. Lajarde.
Present.
Ms. Morehouse.
Present.
She's here. Ms. Nash. She's here. Is Ms. Nash? Ms. Nash?
I see her logged on. Miss Nash, are you present?
Yes, she
Okay.
is. I see her. Okay, Mr. Boyd.
Here.
Here, he's here. And myself, Ms. Torres, present.
And
Okay,
I'm also present.
before we go ahead and move forward to approval of agenda, I'm sorry.
I'm also present.
Oh, did I miss you?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Me too.
Mr. Perez, Mr.
I'm here
Boyd,
too.
Ms. Nash, Ms. Morehouse, Mr. Ortiz, Ms. Lajarde, and Ms. Torres, we're all present. Thank you so much. I apologize. Before we go ahead and set them, we do go ahead and approve the agenda, I do need to ask Ms. Lajarde. Ms. Lajarde, I know that you had given me a call that you wanted to remove yourself from the LSC. You do not have to give reasons. If you do, then I'm gonna go ahead and motion for you to be added to the resignation of the LSC.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, because thinking of my baby, it was, I'm getting hard time and I don't want to be absent during the meeting, but I had conversation with Mr. Perez and I'm going to try to look a different way to be in the meeting when it's possible. I'm going to try one more time to see if it can work for me.
Okay, so then I'm not gonna motion for you to resign from the LSC.
Okay, yes.
Okay, all right, so then just wanted to go ahead and ask that first before we proceed. So then we can go ahead and proceed to approval of the agenda. If everyone can just go ahead and take a look over the agenda. And then we can go ahead and motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
Okay, Mr. Perez motion to approve the agenda. Ms. Morehouse second that motion. All in favor? You can go ahead and raise your hand or unmute yourself, please.
Aye.
Okay. Everyone's in favor. We can go ahead and proceed. Okay, if approval of previous meeting minutes, aprobación de los minutos del mes anterior. As you guys know, our first meeting was to assign positions. This is our first official meeting.
No, this is our second meeting.
This is our second meeting?
Yeah, it's October. We did that. First meeting was September.
Oh, that's right. That is true. I'm so sorry. So let me backtrack. Our meeting was recorded. So it is on YouTube for all that would like to go ahead and view that. So we can just go ahead and approve of the previous minutes. Somebody wants to motion? I will motion to approve the minutes from previous meeting.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Perez, second that motion. All in favor? Okay. Ms. Lajarde?
Yes, I approve the minute.
Okay, so motion passes. All right, so we'll move forward to LSC Chair report. So in my report, I'm going to be very brief. We need to talk about Ms. Morehouse. We will need for you are our secretary. So we are going to need for our minutes to be emailed to us. I know that they're recorded, but minutes would need to start being emailed to everyone, to the LSC Council.
They have been.
I have not received them.
So Ms. Torres, Ms. Morehouse emails the minutes literally either between, the last one was the day after she emailed them to us, the day after the last meeting.
Robert, did you get those minutes? The minutes? Because I did not receive anything.
You didn't receive them? You're on the list. That's interesting. Okay. So we need to make sure, Ms. Morehouse, that you have the right emails, and we'll just make sure we get those out.
So we need minutes to be sent out, agenda to be posted. I know that Perez and I cannot always do it. I mean, I'm not, because parents cannot come in the school, so I'm not in the school. If Perez wants to print them, or Morehouse, if you can print them and then post them, that would be great. Just because I cannot always come to the school, well, I cannot be in. I mean, I guess I can post them, but if you can go ahead and post us when we email that out. I know that I emailed them. So if you can go ahead and post those when we cannot.
Does that sound okay, Ms. Morehouse? For you to post the agenda once it's sent?
What about someone else on the committee, like Mr. Ortiz or Ms. Lajarde, perhaps?
So
Oh,
you are our secretary. That's why we're telling you.
Okay, well, I do send the minutes in a timely fashion. They're due 2 weeks after the meeting in which I send them. So I'm going to double check my email and maybe resend it so that you have it. So is that part of my job responsibility as secretary to post the agenda?
Yeah, once it's formed, then we send it out, yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
All you have to do is print it and tape it to the front door.
okay.
Am I the only one that didn't receive the minutes?
I think so, because I see your name. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at it, and
Nash, Ms.
they were-
Ortiz. Did you get them, Mr. Boyd?
I got them.
yeah, they were sent on October 13th at 12:56 p.m.
Did you get them? Mr. Boyce is checking.
No worries. Ms. Nash, are you there? Did you receive them? Mr. Ortiz, did you receive them?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
My bad, I couldn't unmute it. Yeah.
All right, well, okay. So something that I do need to bring up, because there's parents that have recently, and first of all, to the LSC members that are here. The question to everyone is, why are you guys in the LSC? And the reason why I ask this is because this needs to be, when we get together as a council, this needs to be all of us need to work together to improve things that are being brought to the LSC. I personally don't feel that we are working together as a whole to make things happen. What I mean by that, it cannot just be myself, it cannot just be Mr. Boyd, it cannot just be Mr. Perez or Ms. Lajarde or Ms. Morehouse just working themselves. I believe that the LSC should work all together to make things happen. I mean, I personally don't feel that. And if I don't feel that, then I'm sure there's other people that are feeling the same way. If we want to improve in the school, if we want things to happen, we need to work together. Like right now, we're not working together. If we want to make a change for students, if we want to make a change for teachers, for staff, for everyone in this school, we need to work together. The reason why I'm in this LSC is because I have 3 daughters, 2 that are no longer here and 1 that still continues to be here. I am a full-time employee. I work 12 hours a day. And I told myself that if I joined the LSC, I was going to be committed to come here once a month and do what I personally have to do to improve. I'm here for my daughter. For my daughter, as a parent, I represent the parents, I represent my daughter, but I cannot be the only one doing this by myself. Mr. Boyd cannot be the only one doing this by himself. So we all need to come together to work and make a difference. Now, I know that every time at every meeting, we bring up topics about how do we help teachers with funding or discipline, or how do we do parent engagement? What have we done to improve those things? I mean, what have we do as an LSC to improve those things? Honestly, the answer will be nothing. Or if we have done very minimum. Like, I cannot be the only one outside passing flyers. We all need to be doing this all together. Mr. Boyd cannot be the only one talking to parents outside. We all need to be doing that. Teachers, I mean, Ms. Morehouse and Ms. Lajarde, I totally understand that you guys, have long days. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I have long days myself, 12-hour shifts. But I mean, you guys have to do the teacher, your meeting that you guys do. What is it called? Mr. Perez, help me out.
Are you talking about the PPLC?
Yes, PPLC. So PPLC needs to do a monthly meeting. That last year, that probably wasn't even done monthly. So it's like, if teachers, you guys are the voice for teachers. You guys want things to happen, then we all need to work together. I mean, I already gave my reason why I'm in this LSC, because of my daughter. I represent the parents. I represent my daughter. Why are you guys in the LSC? If we're not going to come together and work as a team, then, maybe we need to get teachers in that can work as a team, maybe other parents, that we all got to work as a team. I don't feel that this is happening right now. Does anybody else have something to add?
Hey, well, I don't mind helping now, but I've been asking for flyers and nobody gave me anything. I've been at the school. Literally, I be up there almost every day because I've been had a meeting up there like probably 2 or 3 times this week. But I've been asking for flyers to help out and nobody gave me anything.
Okay.
So, question for those of you who are here, parents and teachers. Did you all know that tomorrow we have our family reading night?
Yes.
I found that out today. And that's bad.
And that's something we've been planning for over 2 months. And we sent home flyers with students. We sent home flyers virtually. We put it, I just don't know. I don't know what else to do.
So I found out about that literacy night today when I came to speak to you earlier about another matter. Mm-hmm. And I personally, out today, when I picked up my daughter from the Francisco side, I did pass out flyers to the students, to the parents that were there. But I found this out today, and that's bad. I'm in the LSC and I'm finding this out today. That's bad. How many parents are out there that probably don't even know about this?
True.
That was in the minutes, and we talked about it last month at our LSC meeting.
And that's okay. It can be spoken to. We can talk about it at a previous meeting, but how long is it from one meeting to another? That's a whole entire month.
I think that we need more clear direction from you, Jasmine, as to what you want us to do. If you want me to help you, you have to tell me what you need me to help in. Because I've come to the meetings, I try to be here all the time, but if you don't give me clear direction as to what you want me to do, you understand what I'm saying? Because you're the head of the LSC. So if you need something, you have to ask us. And we're more than willing to help.
But then if I don't know things, then
Yeah,
And
that's
this is-
true, but that's not our fault that you don't know, not the LSC's fault. I mean, that's other communications, but as far as you wanting us to help, that's fine. I'm willing to help in whatever. If you tell me to stay till 7 tomorrow, I'll stay till 7. But you need to communicate that to me.
Okay, so then it would, then where do we start, Perez?
So we start with the communication of, you need to know what's going on in the school. So I think what you would have to do is continue to communicate with us and say, what activities are happening this month? What activities are happening next month? Which is what we announce at the end of every LSC meeting. And so when we announce those things, I think that what we need to do is put them in our calendar so that we see them and so that we continue to have them. So for example, like last month, we announced we were having family reading night, which is tomorrow. It's on our minutes. We needed to put that in our in your calendar and or in your phone or something like that so that we can then come back.
Well, then I think that, okay, so today we're having this meeting, it's 27, which is a Monday. Everything that we announced today, I think that it needs to be put, like, I know you set up robocalls, emails. I don't know if you can set those ahead of time. We can sit down and make dates for those to go out. It can go out weekly. And then when maybe it's 2 days prior from that, maybe robocalls can go a day before or 2 days before, or emails be sent out as reminders. And I get it that this is, I'm the head of the chair of the LSC, but I can't do this by myself.
Is there, whatever happened to the newsletter that was sent out?
Newsletters? So Robert's saying what happened to the newsletter? Good question, because I have not received those either.
So newsletter goes out every month, first of the month. They get emailed, they're posted on the website, and we print them and send them.
I only see, if I want to know what's going on, I have to log into the Yates Elementary and see those.
So we need to talk to our students, and that's on our parents. You need to talk to your children because we do send those out. I send them out every first of the month. And on that newsletter are all the dates at the top. It says important dates, and family reading night is on there. Picture day was on there. We just had our picture day last month. We have our LSC meetings on there. For that month, all those important dates are there.
I guess it's basically a lack of communication. And that's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't trying to say that you have to do all the work.
No, it's okay. I
What
know.
I'm trying to say
I'm
is
not
that-
offended.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that once you get the information, then you can trickle that down to us so we know what we have to do. You know, if you need me in other things, well, once you know what you have the communication, you know the things that are going on in the school, then you can come to me and you can give me my part of what I have to do. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I like that.
So let's first talk about the delegation of the task of posting the agenda.
Yes.
So, Ms. Morehouse, are you good with that and just posting the agenda after it is formed?
Yes.
Okay. Once the agenda is formed, who is going to be in charge of printing it for the meetings, for the people who come to the meetings, for us? Ms. Lejarde, you're going to be in charge of printing and making sure every one of us gets a copy. Perfect. All right, so we got that taken care of. Ms. Torres, what else?
So then, we should, so once our meeting is done on Wednesdays and we do all the announcements for the following month, we need to set up, so let's say, for instance, if there is, so November 17th, it's report card pickup, and I'm just using this as an example. So November 17th is report card pickup. I feel that we should start sending out reminders to parents, text messages, emails, flyers once a week. And then 2 days before the date of the event, and then the day before the event. This way, everyone, it's just like daily reminders. It's going to be a weekly reminder and then 2 days and a day before the event.
So a day before the event.
So we can do a weekly reminder. So
Okay.
any events that happen, so any events that we announced today, we should send out a weekly reminder
Okay,
Then we'll send a reminder 2 days prior from the event date and 1 day prior from the event date.
okay, so who's doing that work?
Well, don't, email and text messages, how is that said? How is that formed? How do we do that?
So it all depends. It can come from anybody who works here, or like, so if it's an event, like for example, tomorrow's family reading night, there was a flyer, like as long as the flyer is created and done, I can take on that work. But what I don't have the time, I can't do the flyers. So as long as things are sent to me a week beforehand, I can set all those up. I can set a day before and a second 2 day before.
So passing out flyers, Robert and I can do those because I'm here every morning at 8:15, 8:20,
Okay.
I'm here. I can
Perfect.
pass out flyers, that's no problem.
Perfect.
Robocalls and emails,
That's me. I can do that.
Okay. Okay, so flyers, I mean, we can pass those out. Mr. Ortiz, if you can have some in the office for parents that walk in, that'll be great. That way, any parent that walk in, just kind of give it to them, even if they get them 3 times, at least they're being reminded. Hopefully, this would help with engaging parents to come to events. Okay, so we got that squared out. Yes?
Yes, we are working
sounds
together.
good.
We're
That sounds
working
good.
together to get this done.
Okay, so any questions on that? No, okay. So I am going to bring up, I think this is very important only because I had a parent that approached me that really touched me. So bullying. As you guys know, I do not discuss names, and I'm not going to. I had a parent that approached me and mentioned that she was having problems with her child that attends to school being bullied. She mentioned that the teacher wasn't doing anything about it. The assistant principal and the principal weren't doing anything about it. Okay, of course, I mean, I don't know the behind the story. I don't know. I just feel that I do need to bring it up only because this parent mentioned that her child is being bullied in school and possibly thinking about, doing other actions. So I guess Perez, to teachers that are here, to Mr. Perez, what are we doing for kids that are being bullied in school? What steps are we taking? So that students don't feel this way, especially coming to school, because I mean, no child should feel that they don't want to come to school because they're being bullied or even thinking about taking other actions.
So we have a team of people here that work with our students, especially those students who have experienced it, right? So we have 2 social workers, we have a restorative justice coach, and our dean. So as far as bullying incidents that have been reported, the first thing is that parents have to report it. And for the district, the policy for the report is the report is made, and then within 7 days, an investigation is done. And within that investigation, we have to determine whether it's bullying that's actually happening. Because bullying, the definition of bullying, a lot of people don't understand what that definition is. The definition of bullying is it is teasing and bothering and intimidation that happens over time. So when we say over time, we're talking about a 5-week span. We're not talking about 5 days or 2 days. When we talk about teasing, right? We talk about teasing, and what is teasing? There is a difference between the two. And so the district has a policy that when we do the investigation, there's a whole process that happens, and we've done those before in the past. And so the first step is to get it reported. Then when we determine, let's say we do determine there is a bullying action, then a safety plan is put in place. Part of the safety plan can be either removing the student from the classroom, removing the targeted student from the classroom, switching them to another classroom. Sometimes it's transferring, having a safety transfer to another school, and or consequences. that this other students are given. And then there's a parent meeting that happens individually, and then there's a parent meeting that happens together with both sides. But really the first step of everything is reporting it and making sure that it's reported. And that's what we do. And then from there, we do consecutive check-ins with the student, which is our team who does that.
And
Okay,
these
thank
are
you.
all written on Aspen, is that correct as well?
Yep. And then all the incidents are logged in our system called Aspen, correct?
Okay, but I talk to parents every day, and the one thing that they tell me is they don't see you. They say you are on the other side, but the trouble kids are on the side that they are on. Like as well as I know, the 5th and the 6th grade class, those are classes to be dealt with. It's a lot to deal with those kids. And the parents, they feel like you need to be on that side more, and it alleviate a lot of the mayhem that they got to deal with as far as the kids goes in the morning time.
So unfortunately, you guys, the 5th and 6th grade parents think I should be on that side. My K to 1-2 parents think I should be in the playground. My 3rd and 4th parents want me out on this side. And I'm all over. On one day I'm there, one day I'm in front, one day I'm on that side. So I can't be everywhere, but I do have staff members who are everywhere. And Miss Collier is Francisco side. So that's why you see her out there. She's on that side. I have my dean who is on the other side, which is over here. And then I have to float between the other 2 sides, which is K to 2 and 3 and 4. So I can't be everywhere, but
I have saw Miss Collier one time on that side of that building. One, and I'm here every day. I see her one time. She doesn't talk to parents or anything like that. She walked right past like they're not even standing there. And that's what the parents feeling. They feel like they're not being seen. It's not a good morning or anything. So that's why I'm coming from the parents' side of you. And I stand there and they be like, man, she don't say nothing. She just gonna walk right past everybody. And they not feeling like they're being engaged.
So we can talk about that as well, as far as parent engagement goes, because that goes back to us having our PAC meetings and our parent meetings, and getting them engaged and getting them in the building.
Okay. You got it? Go ahead, Jasmine. No, it froze. Hey, come over here then. Come over here.
It didn't freeze. I see her there.
Yeah, but she can't. That's just a picture. Oh no, you moving? What are you talking?
Okay, there it goes. No, my screen, I'm sorry, my screen keeps freezing. My screen keeps freezing. Okay, so let me just add something. So to answer Mr. Boyd, what he's talking about, I do have to say that I do see Collier and I do see Mejias, but I see them. Well, I do see Mr. Mejias every morning. He is at the Francisco side, and what street is this? What street is this one?
Portland.
Yes, that entrance. They're like in the little entrance there. I see like this morning, I did see them both. So I do see them there. I don't see them. I don't see Ms. Collier at the entrance where the 6th and 5th graders are. I guess my suggestion will be, Mr. Perez, it's if you guys can rotate, come on this side once a week or twice a week, have her be on the other side, kind of rotate yourselves. So that way every parent, that way parents can see both of you on a weekly basis. That's just my suggestion.
And that's a great suggestion.
Parents want to see you on this side. I see Collier, I don't see you, so just kind of rotate yourselves throughout the week.
That's not a problem.
Okay. One more thing that I'm going to add to my report, if no one has any other questions. No? Okay, it's police patrol. So police patrol, why do I say police patrol? I do go by other schools and I see police patrolling the school area, mornings and after school. Why can Yates, why doesn't Yates have a police patrolling this area? What? Oh.
Are you asking me? I can't answer that question. I'm not in charge of the police.
Okay, so how is it that other schools have a police patrolling? So
That's
do
a
you
great
know?
question. That's a great question.
Maybe there's a lot of crime by that school, or maybe that school has a lot of fights. So it's probably a good thing that we don't have police patrol here.
Well,
I
I will
don't know
say,
the answer to that.
I mean, I will say this, I personally don't live around here. But I've been told that there's a lot of
I live around here.
crimes that happen around here. There's gangs. I don't know what happens in the nighttime. Again, I don't live around here. But I do hear things that happen. I hear shootings that happen around here. I hear game banging. I mean, me personally, when I'm here in the front of this, in Francisco side early in the morning, there's cars that speed up, like they're going 80 miles per hour, and that's insane. Like this is a school area. So it's like, what do we do to get a police patrol to patrol our school in the mornings and in the afternoon? Do we have to go to the district and?
So maybe that's a great question. And so I don't have the answer to that. But we can totally look into that because there is a sergeant who is in charge of our area and we have to figure out who the sergeant is. And then
Okay, well,
talk
you know
to
what?
our-
I'll figure that out really quick. I have friends. I have a cousin that's a police officer. He's not from this area, but I'll figure it out.
I just told you it was.
Who is it? Pagan? Okay, well, Mr. Boyce says it's Pagan, Officer Pagan. So I guess we have to get a hold of Mr. Pagan and kind of see what we can do to have our school patrolled. I think it will be good. And I say this because there was an incident there was an incident that occurred here early morning with parents, and I don't think that's, I don't know what this parent can come back, days later and do to the other parents. So, I mean, if we had a police patrol in the area, it would be really good. So anyone has anything to add? Questions, concerns? No, we'll move forward. Okay, that completes my report, guys. Okay, so we will move forward to PPLC.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Okay, sustainable community schools.
Yes, Ms. Zamudio, you can go ahead and talk.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give some updates on SES. So as far as programming goes, phase one is still going strong. We have a total of 65 students participating in programming, which includes before school and after school. This current phase ends the week of December 13th. So we have about a month and a half left. And the executive team for Sustainable Community Schools has begun the initial planning stages for phase two. Phase two will start the week of January 10th. So based off of that breakdown, we are trying to be very proactive about planning ahead of time. Last month's Lsc meeting, I mentioned that SES was looking to do a fundraiser promoted by Domino's. We concluded that fundraiser earlier this week and we raised a total of $220, and which then means that we keep 50% and then Domino's gets the other 50. So that $110 will go towards purchasing items for the school store, which students have been shopping very heavily at, which is really great to see them earning lots of bear bucks. And lastly, some parent events that we have coming up within the next few weeks or so. We will have a paint and sip, a virtual paint and sip on Saturday, November 6th at 4 p.m. I did send out the invitation as well as the registration form to all parents a couple weeks ago. If you did not pursue that link and you would like to receive it, you can enter your email in the chat and I'll send that over to you. And then we also will have adult Zumba in person on Tuesday, November 16th at 5 p.m. That is it for Sustainable Community Schools.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Amudio. Does anybody have any questions?
And that's Zumba's for anyone, right, in the community?
Yes, so it's through a partnership with Muévete, which is a program through the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. So it's community-based, and adults and youth staff are more than welcome to come.
And how are we advertising that?
So I have been sending out flyers each month, inviting parents and youth staff members to come via email. And then a person from Muévete has been handing out flyers after school the past couple weeks that include information about the Zumba class.
Did they come, was it yesterday?
For Zumba, or the person handing out flyers?
For Zumba?
They did not, because it got rescheduled to the 16th. Typically it's the 4th Tuesday of every month, but for October, we didn't have a class. So that's why we're just gonna push it a little bit up for November 16th.
Thank you, Ms. Amudio. I did receive Ms. Amudio's emails. Hers I did receive. Ms. Amudio, if you don't mind, can any events that are coming up from here to our next LSC meeting, if you don't mind, can you send me the dates in an email
I
of all events that are coming?
Yes, I can. And then I've also been submitting posts on School Connects, which is our new parent engagement.
This thing cut off. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No worries. I mentioned that I have been submitting posts for approval on School Connects, which is the new parent engagement platform that the school has been using. But I can send the email over to you.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Amudio? No? Okay, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and move forward to Parent Advisory Committee, which is our PAC. So I can actually answer to that. So again, this is, we go back into parent engagement. Mr. Boyd, myself, Mr. Boyd, Mr. Perez, and myself were the only ones at this PAC meeting. We did announce it at the last LSC. We talked about it. I know Mr. Perez sent out robocalls and emails, and no one showed up to the PAC. So, I mean, I personally don't know what else to do, like Mr. Perez, to engage parents. Mr. Boyd, we can. So I don't know if it had to do because we did it in the afternoon. I know that I spoke to I spoke to parents outside on Francisco's side, and I know parents told me that it's because, the parents that I spoke to said was at 4:30, we pick up our kids, we're going home, we're making dinner, we have to get things ready for the next day. So I get it. We can try doing this PAC meeting again in the morning to see if that will work. There's parents that are outside early morning, so we can see if we can drag them inside and join our meeting. Because this has been a struggle for a long time. It's hard to engage parents. I don't know what to do. If there's parents that are listening to this YouTube meeting, email me, come to talk to Ms. Perez, tell us what can we do to engage you guys to come. I don't know what to do to engage you guys I mean, you guys want to be heard, but then you guys do not come to these meetings, so I don't know what else to do. Mr. Boyd and myself don't know what to do. We talk about it daily. How do we engage parents? I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we can set up a date now and try to see if parents that are listening now will join our next meeting in the morning. Since you guys are already here in the morning, you can come in, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about, what can we do for our kids? I mean, I don't know. Do you want to set up a date? Means we can do next Wednesday. We can do next Wednesday. Or if we want to give it some time, we can do it on the 10th, November the 10th at 9:15 in the morning. We can do, I mean, just to give parents time or enough time to be here, we can do November the 10th at 9:15, right when your child comes, gets into school. We can meet in the cafeteria, we can have coffee, we can have cookies, we can have some type of breakfast and get our meeting started. Does that sound good with you, Mr. Perez?
November 10th works for me.
Ms. Nash? Mr. Boyd? Okay. So then we'll go ahead and set it up for November the 10th at 9:15 a.m. And then Mr. Perez, we can do what we just said. We can go ahead and we can sit down, do that weekly robocall, email, and text, and then we'll do it 2 days before. I don't know how to create, we can create a flyer and pass them out from now till the 10th.
Okay, that works for me.
Yep. Okay, so then the PAC meeting will be November the 10th at 9:15 a.m. in the cafeteria for us?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So November the 10th, 9:15 PAC meeting.
So November 17th is report card pickup or parent teacher conferences. So there's going to be a lot of parents around that day. So maybe if you're going to have this.
Oh, you know what? That is true.
10th, then you might want to be promoting the next one even, or have it on that morning.
17th?
Before they come, perhaps, so maybe they'll come early to go get the kid's report card.
So I think that we should have.
You want to mute yourself? Mr. Boyd is telling me something, but
I know, I can hear the rumblings. Go ahead.
Mr. Perret, is it possible, the day of the report card pickup? Well, we should, with the PAC, we should be able to have something early for the parents. Say if report card pickup starts at say 12, have something at 10 in the morning. So there can be, either they're here or we can have a little PAC meeting, just to get them here, have them here.
Come in.
Have them here when report card pickup start already.
So then I think the best time then to do that would be a 10:30.
Yeah.
And then going all the way through report 12 until it starts. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad idea. I think that the other part of the PAC that we're missing is that we have to have the PAC organizational meeting first. And I think that does need to happen on the 10th. And then on the 10th, we are advertising that the first PAC meeting is on the 17th.
Okay.
Before report card pickup. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah. That sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah, that's actually good. Okay, so then the 10th will be the organization meeting, and then the 17th will be an actual meeting. Okay. I put those on my calendar. Ms. Nash, can we count on you to be here?
On the 17th?
On the 10th and the 17th.
On the 10th and the 17th?
Yes, ma'am. So the 10th will be an organization meeting at 9:15. And then the November 17th will be the actual meeting.
Yeah. What time is the actual meeting on November 17th?
So we can discuss that on the 10th, just to see,
Okay.
you know,
But
like
the
what.
17th is going to be 10:30.
Oh, 10:30? Okay,
Yeah.
10:30, okay. So 10:30, Ms. Nash.
Don't you think that's too early if the doors don't open till noon?
Not if we're having just a PAC meeting. Because our PAC meetings will run about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll
But
go
what
right.
about people that gotta go to work that don't come?
Well, that's the whole thing, right? We're trying to figure out how to get people to come. So we're going to try it before the report card pickup. And if not, then we got to figure out the next time for that.
Oh, I mean, we can always change the time on November 17th. We can always we can always change it. We can discuss that on November the 10th and then see what works for other parents. I mean, I'm okay with, I mean, I'm taking the day off on the 17th. So I can be here all day. It's not a big deal. We can do 2 meetings. Mr. Boyd, are you going to be here with me all day? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. So Mr. Boyd said he'll be here with me all day.
Well, can I get some flyers? Because I can also put it in my area, you know, because I'm in the area. So I can put them on porches and the mailboxes, and I can put them on cars in their windshield.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Sounds good. So then we can, Jimmy, for now, we'll leave the 10:30 for the 17th, but we'll discuss it on the 10th.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll move forward with principal's report.
All right, thank you. So just to go over, we have lots of things happening at Yates. And so first I want to make sure that we are clear as to what things are happening at Yates. So we have a feeling of overwhelmness by our teachers. We have a feeling of overwhelmness by our students. And we have a feeling of overwhelmness by our staff. And this is all happening because we have come back to school in the middle of a pandemic, and we are having to teach students how to be back in school. And what I mean by that is, if you start to think about it, the last time these students were in school was 2 years ago. So they've forgotten a lot of things, and they've picked up a lot of bad habits. Some of those things are, they were so used to taking breaks. They were so used to eating when they wanted to. They were so used to using the bathroom when they wanted to, because they were at home. Now we're running into a different kind of teaching, because now we're having to teach routines and procedures and things that kids learned in the past all over again. So I want to start with my report with that, because and I have to say, our teachers are very overwhelmed. They feel very underappreciated at some points, because we have tried to get parents engaged, and we are not seeing the engagement that we thought we would have. And so what I mean by that is, we had a parent meeting. I've had a parent meeting from kindergarten all the way to 4th grade every day this week and last week. And at each one of those meetings, I had no more than 3 parents. It's very unfortunate, because when we start to look at our achievement data, and our achievement data shows that our students are between 1 and 2 years behind, both in reading and both in math, right? In reading and in math. And we are doing our best to catch those students up to close that achievement gap. Ms. Torres did a walkthrough with me today. She got to see some of our interventions in place. And some of those interventions that we're doing are reading interventions and math interventions. But we can't do everything in the 6 hours that we're here. And we need our parents to be our partners. And we need our parents to be our educational partners. And what that means is, we first need to bring them into the building. And then we need to explain to the parents what their child needs, right? And that's a part that the 3 parents who have shown up have been very grateful to know these things, because some of the parents were like, wow, I never knew this. I never knew that my daughter, who's in 5th grade, reads at a 2nd grade level, and I can help her and close that gap to get her to 5th grade. And here are the strategies I can do, right? And now that's what we are doing in these meetings. We're giving parents strategies on how to improve reading and how to improve math. The other thing we've been doing is we've been hosting professional development for teachers on things like trauma-informed schools, which means all teachers have learned what it means to have a trauma brain versus a learning brain. What it means to see when we see students acting out and screaming and yelling and hitting and kicking and whatever it is that we've been seeing, which are all the behaviors we've been seeing. We understand that our students have been through lots of trauma, and that includes COVID, that includes the after effects of COVID and or the anxiety that COVID brings, because they're so scared to get sick. They're so scared to touch each other. They're so right. And we have students who are exhibiting those things. So we are focusing on our social emotional learning with our students, and we're focusing on creating safe spaces within our school. And part of that safe space is also creating a safe space for teachers in our building, because teachers are exhibiting, and when I say teachers, I mean every staff member here at our school, are exhibiting what's called secondhand trauma. And secondhand trauma is based off of the trauma that happens because of the primary trauma, right? So when a student acts up, or a student punches another student or goes at a teacher, throws a chair at a teacher, throws a book at a teacher, that's traumatic. And so when you start to think that the teachers are also feeling trauma, not drama, but trauma. So we're creating safe spaces for them as well. So we were able, so that's kind of the professional development piece. And I wanted to make sure we were all aware of what we're doing with our building to help, 1, support our teachers, 2, support our students, and then 3, support our parents. Our parents part is where I feel like it is our biggest issue. And I don't know what else to do, because for my parent meetings that we had, we sent home flyers, we sent home text messages. I walked around the building and gave flyers out to parents. And, essentially we had them right after school. And I'm going to talk specifically about K-2. So K-2 parents pick up their children in the playground. I was like, are you coming to the meeting? Let's have the meeting today. Well, I heard about it. I can't go. I can't do it. And for me, it kind of goes back to what you said, Ms. Torres, like, you want to know what's happening with your child. And we want to know what's happening with our child early on, not when it's too late. The other things that we've been doing to support children is we've been sending home bi-weekly reports with grades, with their attendance, and with their behavior. And parents should be receiving those reports as well. And so I'm kind of at wit's end, and I'm trying to do my best to help bring parents on board. And we have to do something to make parents our educational partners. And that's really the mission this year from myself, because I have the great teachers in place, and I have the great students in place. But right now, what I don't have are 100% of parents. I can be honest with you, I don't even have 10% of parents. I have 3% of parents, and they're probably all right here today. So we have to think through some strategies, and I don't know what those are, but I'm doing my best to ask other principals for help. Moving on, as far as vacancies go, we have hired a new 5th grade teacher. She just started. She is now in her 2nd week. We hired a new counselor. Our former counselor resigned, so we had to hire a new counselor. We're still waiting for the counselor to be onboarded. They're set to be onboarded within the first 2 weeks of November. And that's a staffing issue that has nothing to do with me. It just has to do with CPS and their HR department being super backed up. We also hired a new special education classroom assistant to work in our kinder classroom, because our kinder classroom is our newest classroom of students who have never been in school, right? And so we have to really take a think about that. We also hired 3 new tutors. The district has awarded us tutors, and these tutors are coming in also working in small groups with students in our first 2 hours of our reading block. We also hired 2 new recess monitors. One started yesterday, and one is still on its way to begin on onboarding because of the staffing delays. So that's where we are with hiring and vacancies. We currently still have a vacancy for a bilingual teacher assistant. We have offered the job to someone. We're waiting for that person to be onboarded as well. Moving on to extracurricular activities, we did start sports with our community as a campus with the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. we have started with volleyball. However, at our last volleyball game, we had an issue and we had to stop volleyball. There was just an issue that was not correct, and it was not okay, and not to get into specifics, but we've already rectified the issue and we are set to begin volleyball again this coming Thursday. What it was around was sportsmanship. We needed to teach our students about sportsmanship and what that means and what it means to win and what it means to lose and why it's okay to lose. Our students were very upset because they lost their game last week. And because they were upset, that anger came out, and then it began to trigger the other team and trigger adults. We can't do those things. We have to begin to teach our students once again what it means to be in school, what it means to win, and what it means to lose. Moving forward, we have also completed our first fall picture day. Picture proofs should be out within the next 2 weeks. Parents who gave an email address will receive an email with their proofs. And if you do not like your proofs, the makeup picture day is November 17th. You can do a retake of the picture for your child. The instructional leadership team has met bi-weekly. We meet in the mornings at 7:30. The instructional leadership team is the team of teachers who are in charge of essentially voicing their opinion around curriculum, budget, and/or school operations. Similar to the PPLC, they do help advise me on the things that are happening within the classroom. So it's a really great team that we have here at the building. This past week, we had an ILT meeting, and it was our second ILT meeting, and we talked about our SEL needs for children, and we talked about our behavioral needs for children and the expectation needs for children in our building. And so now we are planning professional development on those things. So we started with our professional development on trauma-informed schools. We then continued with the professional development on our safe school environment. And then we'll continue our next professional development, which will be November 4th, which is November 5th, around safe classroom environment and discipline approaches. That is all I have for my report.
Can you repeat the last, the safe school environment, trauma, and what was coming?
So our first one was trauma-informed schools, which
Right.
was by Miss O'Day. Our second one was today, which was safe school environment. The next one will be safe classroom environment. And then after that, it's restorative practices to discipline.
Mr. Perez, just because I just want to bring up something. So just so that everybody is aware, if you guys have forgotten, remember how last year we were discussing the budget? This is one of the, just so that everybody is aware and whoever is listening, what we voted on. It was either the STEM class or the, what is this program called for us?
I'm sorry, what program are you talking about?
STEM?
Did a walk around, the one that I did a walk around to me.
STEM.
Oh, so we had the STEM teacher.
Uh-huh.
And then when you walked around, we did the leveled literacy intervention, LLI.
So was that what we voted on last year?
We voted on both of them. Yeah, we voted on having the STEM teacher and the LI. What we didn't remember, what it was either the STEM teacher and the interventionist,
Interventionist, that's what it is. Okay. So just so that everyone that is listening knows that this is what we voted on last year. And I am glad that we voted on this last year. And I say this because through the walk around that I did with Ms. Perez, thank you for allowing me to do that with you today. There are a lot of students that are not where they need to be. And it's from first grade, second grade, I went all the way to fourth grade, and seeing students not reading at a fourth grade level, reading at a first grade level was like, wow. So these kids need a lot of work. And it's not just one, not two, there is a lot of students that need help. So I am glad that we did vote on this last year. to do this, because this year, looking at it, you know, the way I saw it today, it's a lot. There's a lot of kids that need a lot of help. Something that came to mind as you're speaking is that I don't know if it's possible, but what you allowed me to do today, I don't know if maybe we can pick a day where it can be called a parent shadow day. What does that mean? Doing what you allowed me to do today. Walk around the school, going to classrooms, so that parents can see for themselves that not just their student, not just their child, but so many kids need help. I don't know, maybe this will help them understand that how more involved they need to be, because parents, if you guys are listening, you guys need to get involved. It's a lot of kids.
And maybe that's the idea of the PAC this year, is to do exactly that. I think that should be the mission of the PAC, right? Is to have an empowerment day where we do walkthroughs with those parents, and we can give them each clipboards or however they want to do, so they can mark down what they see, and then we can go back and talk about it, right? But I think the first step that we're having the issue with is getting those parents in the building. And that's always been our thing, is getting them here and getting them in the building.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I'll come one day and make phone calls if I need to, and, you know, let parents know how important it is. I don't know, but what I saw today was very touching, because there's a lot of kids that need help. A lot. Yes, Miss Morehouse, I think you raised your hand. I saw a little hand, right?
Oh, yeah. So do I lower it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so right, because if you think about it, the kids haven't been in school for 1.5 to 2 years, right? And then by no fault of our own. And then it's all over the news how they really wanted the kids to get back in school because they were losing so much learning at home, you know, and then, so, you know what I mean? So that should be a trigger as a parent, like, you know, what can I do to support my child at home? You know, in addition to now that they're back in school.
And I'm going to put you on the spot, Ms. Morehouse. Ms. Morehouse is our interventionist, for those of you who don't know. And she's the one who works with our lowest students. And today we were able to see Ms. Morehouse working with a student who is still working on letter sounds and still working on those phonetic things, like, you know, working on 3-letter words like cat. And the student was in 3rd or 4th grade. And so we have a problem, and we have to begin to think about how we're going to fix it.
Yeah, because I personally witnessed that today, and they need help. Our kids need help.
They do. And
Volunteers.
it's not the help. It's not the help from the teachers. We need help from the parents. We really do.
Right, like simple flashcards, you know, like if you're here picking up your kids and you're waiting for your other kids to, you know, finish whatever it is that they're doing, flashcards right now. You're in the grocery store, they sit in the grocery cart, flashcards. That's just like a simple, quick win. Or everything should be revolved around. I know it's crazy, but, you know, like if you're cooking, okay, what is 1/4 of a cup? How many fourths do I need to make 1 whole cup? I mean, just anything and everything. But
so
yeah.
again, Ms. Torres and Mr. Boyd and Ms. Nash, as parents, since you are here, I think that as a PAC, that right there is your mission. It's 1, to get them in the building, 2, to get them to see what we're doing, and then 3, to then begin the workshops of how to help my child at home. And then that's what we do, is when we have a PAC meeting, we can say, hey, we're going to have our PAC meeting. We're going to feed you dinner or breakfast or lunch, whatever it is. And then we're going to make some flashcards for you and your child at our meeting so we can talk about it. So we already know that students in 3rd all the way to 5th grade, they need to know their multiplication tables all the way to 12. So you should have flashcards for that. Whether you make them or you buy them, you should have that, right? We also know that students in kindergarten and first grade need to know their letters and their letter sounds. So you should make flashcards for that. And we'll end up with having flashcards for everything, which are great. And so now we then have to begin to use those flashcards, right? And showing parents, how do you use the flashcards? A lot of times I hear parents tell me, well, I don't speak English. You don't need to speak English to do a math flashcard. You don't need to speak English to hear a child say the letter, hear the sound, right? So we just want to make sure that our biggest, that is, as we begin to plan the pack, that we start to think about these things so that can be our driving force.
Actually, right. Sorry. What I was going to say before was we have the open house in September, and that is for the parents to come in, meet the child's teacher, and talk about the curriculum that we're going to be using throughout the year to educate your child. Nobody shows up for that either. And I appreciate you if you did come. But, you know, that is the best time to learn about what is going on in our school. Because then we talk about all the curriculum that we're providing. And that is one huge way to get involved in your kids' learning. And I know, I'm pretty sure the three of you are involved. So we definitely need to get 75% more of the parents on board. And I'm willing to come to that meeting if I can. It's at 9:15. I don't know if I can come to that, but I'll try to think of some ideas and then send them your way. Okay.
I'm okay with you being there. I know it's for parents, but I'm okay with you being there.
But I mean, I have to be here too, so that is.
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Perez.
I
You know
forgot.
what I mean?
We can
I
take a
can
look at it.
comment.
We can take a look
Okay,
at it.
yeah.
Miss Nash has her hand up.
I just wanted to say, so everything that y'all saying, I'm already doing with my kids. So like if I'm cooking, I always have my kids putting in a cup like how much we should do. And then even on the weekends and stuff, when they go to school, my kids are doing flashcards, which I make myself. And then around their whole room and their wall, I have everything put on their walls to help them because they all doing multiplications. And when, like I said, on the weekends, we do games, which I give them treats when they do their problems or when they get something correct and when they read out loud.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Perez in regards of his report? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Perez. Thank you, Ms. Morehouse, Ms. Nash, Mr. Boyd. We'll move forward. Oops. I lost myself. One moment. Alrighty, new business. We have the resignation of the LSC member, Ms. Marilyn Flores. Ms. Marilyn Flores, I don't know if I can I, yes, Mr. Perez?
She resigned. Ms. Flores resigned.
She resigned, yes.
Yes. And the reason behind it was because she transferred her student out, so she could no longer be on the LSC.
So do we have to motion anything for her to be removed? No?
Yes. Yeah. We have to motion to accept it.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Because you're.
Yes, sorry, we need to motion to accept the resignation.
Okay, all right, so then I motion to accept the resignation of Marilyn Flores.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Perez seconds that motion. All in favor? Ms. Nash, Mr. Boyd,
Mr. Boyd's in the hallway. Everybody but Mr. Boyd said yes, so.
alrighty, so the motion does approve. Everybody said yes to that. So we'll move forward to old business. There's nothing on old business. We'll move forward to public participation. Is there anyone in public participation, Mr. Peros?
I don't see anybody with their hands raised.
No?
No.
Okay, so then we'll move forward to announcements.
Yes, announcements tomorrow, family reading night starts at 4:15. All parents and children are invited. There will be, if you come, you will get a free Affy and a free book. We will have an author of the book here to read to the children, and she'll be autographing their books. And then there are also 4 or 5 other activities for students to complete during that time. It is from 4:15 until 6:15.
Okay, thank you. Any other announcements?
Makeup Picture Day, November 17th.
17th is report card pickup.
No, I thought it was the 15th. I'm sorry, hold on.
My thing froze.
You're right, I'm sorry. November 17th is report card pickup. And then November 18th is Makeup Picture Day.
18th, so it's retake on the 18th. Report card. November 10th. Pack. And what else?
That's all I have.
Okay, when is our next LSC meeting? November 20.
Woo. Not the 20th, because we have, remember, we said it. I have my calendar here.
November 17th.
Oh, wait, we
Oh.
don't have,
Oh,
We sure do. It says that's report card pickup, 5 o'clock.
that's so hopefully more parents will come.
That's right. We talked about that.
so we are doing our LSC meeting on the 17th?
That's what we have on our calendar.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna be here. Okay, I'm okay with that because I'm gonna be here anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so November 17th is LSC. All right, if there is no other, Saturday, November the 6th, Miss Samudio mentioned something. What
We have
was
our
it?
we have our paint and sip program.
Paint and sip. So November 6th is paint and sip.
Yep, and if anybody who wants to participate, all you have to do is sign up, and we give you free painting, the painting supplies, the canvas, and everything that you need to do so. It's all done through Zoom, and you do it at home.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna paint and sip then.
You should do it. It's very fun. We've done it many times. It's a very fun thing, and it's a family thing. So if you're gonna do it with your kids, you just ask for the amount of number of canvases you need and the amount of paint sets you need, and it's really great. It's free.
Okay, all right.
How you
Other than
sign
that,
up?
is there any other?
You can sign up on our website. Everything is on our website under the SES tab. So if you go to the tab that says community, and then you go to SES, you can sign up right there.
She sent the text. I mean,
You what?
Emily's.
Oh, she just
Samudio.
posted it in the chat. Yep, it says there's a form right there for you to fill out, and then we'll go ahead and get you the supplies that you need. Did you get that, Miss
Then
Nat?
thanks- Yeah. And then the Thanksgiving break, it's going to be what day from what day? It's. 'cause I know we're gonna-
Thanksgiving break is the 24th through the 28th. We are off on that Wednesday.
Are they, so the 24th, they're off?
Yep.
Okay. All
We
right,
come-
I'm just writing all my notes down so that way we can create a flyer.
That's fine. The other thing you may want to do is then November 11th is a day off. It's really weird. It's in the middle of the week. It's a Thursday. That's also a day off.
November the
Veterans Day.
11th?
Yep, for Veterans Day.
Yes, okay. November 11th, we are no school then, right? Okay. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
All right, if no one has any other questions, comments, concerns, then I am going to adjourn this meeting at 6:47.
I second.
You gotta unmute yourself.
I
heard
second.
him. Trust me, I heard him.
I motion, Mr. Boyd, second that motion, all in favor. All right, thank you everyone for being, motion passes. Thank you everyone for being here.